Now a play fake here on first down. Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A really good pickup of 28 yards. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 34.
Let's go! What?
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
Now this time he'll look to throw. He'll air this one toward Coleman. And this is taken in at the 5. And that one results in 35 yards. See some head shaking on that defensive sideline because so much focus on taking away what he did last week as NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Big game there for him to start.
I love your observation because you would think they'd be prepared for him after what he did the previous week. But sometimes that skill set actually intimidates a defense, and he used it to his great advantage.
They'll try to run it in with Elliott. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
Off the bootleg. Rush. They'll roll him out right. And too much on that one. It's out of the back of the end zone, incomplete.
Brandon, some of those windows to throw the football that exist when you're between the 20s, they don't exist when you're this close to the goal line. But as a former DB, I liked it closer to the goal line. Tighter windows made it easier to cover people, actually.
So here we go on a 3rd and goal. This Lions defense, they haven't broken yet. Here's Elliott. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Ashawn Robinson coming out of the University of Alabama. A big, physical, intimidating force who had to learn to play with more leverage. Otherwise, he was going to get blown off the ball in the NFL. Looks like he's learning his lessons after that play.
A good drive gets him inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Lions now. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again. Stafford. It's complete to Golden Tate. Golden Tate's gonna go. It's a big play. Stafford to Tate. 58 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing, often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
All right, here we go, here we go.
On second down, here's Stafford. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone.
On the ball, on the ball.
He was out there waving his arms saying, throw it here, dropped it, not a good look.
Well, all I can do is just look at him with contempt on that one. As a defensive back, I'm saying, not as an announcer. Just like, really?
A little bit of a diva look, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so, because I think what happens is he just had too much time to think. He's wide open now. Here comes the ball, and he doesn't concentrate and drops it.
It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle. They've been stuffed twice here for losses. Now it's 3rd and goal. Now it's Stafford. And this is going to be incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow them to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. They had it 1st and goal, 3 attempts, couldn't get it in, so they settle for 3.
Yeah, the field tends to shrink a little bit the closer you get to the goal line, doesn't it? It doesn't sound right. It sounds a little counterintuitive. But you run out of space to run the deep routes, so they can just sit on the shorter stuff if you're going to throw it. If you want to run it, there's just not as much space. You end up having to take 3 there.
And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But also have to remember, they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Yeah, he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
All right, now, look at 56. Look at 56. All right, now, look at 56.
Operating from the gun. Rush. Throwing deep here for Coleman. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. On the return, it's Tate. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Lions will take over. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
On 1st down, Abdullah. And he stopped immediately there. DeMarcus Lawrence in on the tackle. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
From the 50, Stafford. Eluding the pressure right. This one complete to Theo Riddick. Running right through it. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. A very solid gain of 27.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he was able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
Stafford caught on the right side by Jones. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. The Lions on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Early down stuff will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. He'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. On 1st down, rush. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Gone, let's go.
To throw again. Rush. He finds Hearns left side. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
What will they make up for it? And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges come from, of course, in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Yeah, now we're going to New York, right? That's command central for the officials. They'll talk, they'll take a look at it, communicate with the referee at the game site, and issue a final decision because they do have the final call now.
To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. How about the big boys snagging one? You don't see that every week.
No, you don't, but a lot of them are just reliving their old dreams, going back to when they were in youth football and in high school. They didn't always play defensive line. Some of them actually handled the football, and you can see the flashback when he grabbed that one.
Let's go! Green, 39!
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. This is caught by Hearns. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. The Cowboys looking to get going again in a hurry.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
They'll drop the throw. And a quick throw here that's complete. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 12. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's stuff.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Jalen Smith.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. He was looking for Terrence Williams that time. And now it's second down. No move for the field goal unit. They're going to go here with 5 seconds left.
Now let's go.
They'll throw now on the final play. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the second down play, they burn the timeout, making them sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And it's complete. They're going to get the first. And with a clock reading zeros, he is into the end zone. What an exclamation mark to the end of this second quarter.
Indeed. Indeed. Well, my education continues in this game, I've got to tell you, because there's not an analyst in the world that would have said pass up the field goal here, go for it, and expect for it to be successful, and it was. I mean, they're playing this one just like a video game.
Especially for the final play of the first half to have the guts to do that. But I guess, what do we say? The end will justify the means, right?
No doubt about it. For you and me, we live, we learn.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. David Irving in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17. Out of the gun, Stafford. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan. Try and chip away at his timing.
So here, the men in charge are going to be looking at whether or not the receiver had possession of the ball as he went out of bounds.
And they have to make sure that the receiver got both feet down in bounds as well.
Here's Sam Martin now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Anthony Brown. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. Well, when someone other than the quarterback is throwing the football, it's either beautiful or a disaster, and here it was the latter.
Nowhere in between, right? I mean, you're exactly right. It takes some fortitude to call that type of a play, but when it doesn't work, oh, boy, you wish you hadn't.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They go play action here on first down. They'll air this one toward. This is caught inside the 15. And he's going to be marked down deep in Detroit territory. That one goes for 36 yards. They'll look to throw here on first down. Coleman has it here right side. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Corey Coleman, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys turn that interception into a touchdown. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is now 17-3. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. And Detroit getting set to go now. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. From the gun, here's Stafford. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass.